Who remembers the BJ and Bill show all those years ago on WOLZ? Well, many have said they missed the show, and guess what? They're back. Welcome to the BJ and Bill podcast.
Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast, a part of the Podcast Playground Network. Please give us that 5-star review. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. And, of course, follow us on Facebook, BJ and Bill, the podcast. And as always, you can email us, BJ and Bill, the podcast @gmail.com, as we welcome you to episode 120.
Wow. I was just thinking about that because if you do 52 a year, then 104. Never mind. I was thinking 124. My weeks are screwed up. Anyway, 120. Awesome. All good no matter what. Good morning. How are you? What are you wearing this morning? You got a grandpa hat on?
Yeah, I got a grandpa. We're going to Mickey when we get done with the podcast.
Oh yeah, I see that. It's got Mickey Mouse ears and it says grandpa on it.
And I got I actually have a Disney what they call us, I don't know, I call them a jersey or something. It says in big letters Disney and across the back of it. I look like the typical nerd going to Disney.
You look like a Disney nerd.
Yeah, boy. Basically. Yeah, that's it.
And you're driving your 100th anniversary Disney edition car, Ioniq 5, to Disney. You should get a better parking place for that. They should park you up front or something.
Yeah, I know. I think they should have charging posts right there.
Oh, that would be awesome. Why haven't they done that? That's kind of new agey or whatever you want to call it. That's kind of environmentally friendly. You would think a company like Disney would do that, but of course, well,
they might, because I know, like when I'm driving around Disney, because my little car says there's a charging station here, there's a charging station there. I know they're around different places. I just never have went and sought one out because I didn't need it.
There you go. It's close for you. It's not like you're coming cross country or something. I understand. Yes.
But I did have an interesting ride home yesterday.
From where?
Jacksonville.
Oh, that's right. You were in Jacksonville. How'd that go?
It went great, but when I put in, because I typed in, to go home when it was time to go home.
Right.
And I don't know if I would have got all the way home or what, but it had, and it drove me right there, but it put a charging point right in the map for me to stop and charge. And I said, we may not, because I was even telling my wife, we may not get all the way home.
Right.
I may need to want to charge and, do a quick charge for about 15 minutes and then get back on the road. But the charge point that I originally had in my mind to stop was already done for me in my map.
What do you mean?
When I put on the Ioniq 5.
Right.
I didn't put that stop on the map, the GPS to get home.
Oh, right. Okay. It already thought he's going to need some more juice.
Yeah. So it told me exactly where to go to get to, Electrify America.
Cool. You could have stopped here. Well, it's a little out of your way. You could have come to Gainesville and then stop. There's a charge point right off the highway, right at my highway exit. And then you could have been on your way down I-75. But yeah, that would have been a little long trip. But yeah.
Now, I will tell you this. As I didn't mean to get into the electric car thing here in the beginning.
But here we are. It's okay. It's okay.
But I'll finish another story. I go down to my son's in Fort Myers, which is, over 3 hours away from me.
Right.
But I go the back roads. I don't go the interstate.
Okay.
Jacksonville, where I went, closer. But interstate pretty much all the way.
So what do you to get from your place? What, across east on 4, north on 95?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It took me more energy to get to Jacksonville for my car, less mileage than it does to go more mileage to Fort Myers. But again, we're going through down 17, so we're going through Arcadia, Wauchula,
right,
Bowling Green. There's a whole bunch of little towns through there.
So
you slow up,
which I think is true. I think when you're like steady state high speed on the highway, I think that burns more juice because
Oh
you're not
yeah, it
doing
does.
any no regeneration or anything like that. Yeah.
Right. So yeah. So I learned something. If we'd ever go on a long trip and use all interstates, 'cause I was thinking, oh, I don't need to stop for like, 200, 250 miles.
Right.
Now I say, okay, I'm going to need to stop probably every, 150, 200 miles.
I don't know about that, but yeah, it matters. And again, this is reason number 17 or 18 why it's just not quite for me just yet, which is interesting because my friend in Sarasota in Venice that has the Ionic 5 that has the, one of the originals, she's starting to get the itch now for because she's had this one for 3 years. She's had this one for almost coming up on 3 years, and she's starting to get the itch. And it's like, ooh, what's out there? Ooh. And she's a big Genesis Hyundai person and all, because Genesis is the luxury brand of Hyundai. And
It's kind of like the Lexus of Toyota.
yeah, like Toyota, Lexus, Nissan, or rather, Honda makes Acura. Yes, it's all. Everybody has their luxury brand, and Genesis is the Hyundai one, and they're not super nice. And I was in Tampa last Sunday or a week ago, whatever, for a Christmas party for a group I'm in, and she happened to mention that because she bought her Hyundai at the Hyundai dealer in Tampa, shout out to Crown Tampa over in Clearwater, actually. And they also do Genesis cars. And so I swung through the parking lot because literally where I was going was a block away from the Genesis dealer. And I took some pictures of some of the Genesis electric ones and sent to her. And she's like, oh my God, I want that one. I said, yeah, it's only $75,000. No problem. And so I think I planted some seeds there. So we'll see what happens.
Well, that's like here in Claremont, the Genesis dealer is right next to the Hyundai dealer.
Well, it's the same. Yeah. It's like Toyota. Well, like we said, it's like Toyota, Lexus, or, Honda, Acura. It's the same company. So I'm sure that if you were the Hyundai dealer in Orlando or wherever, they said, hey, do you want to have Hyundai probably comes to you and says, hey, do you want to have a Genesis dealership too? So yeah, you probably got first dibs on the upscale dealership. And of course I'm sure jumped on it. If they were smart, they did. So anyway.
Now we had no problem. We had no problems with it, but
Cool.
I had it kind of mapped out. We got there and I said, hey, we could power up again. So we went to a quick charge and powered up there after we got to our hotel and got settled. Actually, we went the next morning.
There you go.
And then, on the way home, it told us to pull over here and charge. And so, hey, why not? It's telling me to go there. I'll go there.
I just do what the car tells me to do. It's okay. That's awesome. Well, good for you. I'm glad you had a good time. So Jacksonville, you enjoyed Jacksonville? Wasn't too cold while you were there, or was it?
No, actually, it was very nice.
Uh-huh.
I will tell you this, and I wish I remember. I think it's Lynch's. Yeah, Lynch's Irish Pub. And let me tell you, the food was, if you're ever in Jacksonville, people, it's it's not too far from the beach, Jacksonville Beach, just down, it's like right on the main drag there.
Okay.
Boy, I don't know, maybe it was the bachelor party going on there or what, but I mean, they were watching football and they go, whoo, whoo, whoo. And I mean, I thought I was at a frat party for a while. I really did. But the food was excellent.
Awesome.
It was just great food. It was awesome. Everybody enjoyed themselves. And like I said, I have, but not for years. But I haven't been in a rowdy bar like that in a long time.
And what's the name of the place again?
Lynch's
Irish Pub.
Irish Pub, yeah.
We'll look it up. Sounds good. Good.
I mean, it looks like a hole in the ground. It's a hole in the wall joint, but awesome food, awesome service,
best kind.
Awesome rowdy people. I mean, and people are going around to different people's table. Hey, what are you doing, man? How you doing? It's like, hey, I guess everybody thinks that you're Irish when you're in there. I don't know.
Everybody's your friend. I love those places. That's
great. It was a different experience for this guy right here.
Okay.
But it was fun.
Well, good.
I enjoyed it.
Awesome. Good, good. So anyway, Jacksonville was good to you, and yeah, I've been there many a time,
Yeah,
and had some friends there and all that. So I know the neighborhoods. I know it pretty well, pretty well. So yeah.
yeah, we were out on Jack's Beach, and I we pulled in to my sister-in-law's house, and
Right.
her man is out there. We pull in, he goes, "Your car sounds funny." I go, "That's because it's electric."
Sounds funny. It doesn't sound like anything. It doesn't.
Well, no, because when you're slowing down and pulling, you get a little bit of that regeneration,
Right.
hum or whatever. He
Yeah,
goes,
it whines a little bit.
yeah, so he goes, "Your car sounds funny."
Open the hood. You want to see something funny? Open the hood.
There's no motor in here.
Nothing there.
The only thing with the Jacksonville trip that I had, my wife tried to kill me. That's the only thing. She's trying to kill me
Okay.
because we stopped, where, because, if you go buy one, it's the law.
It is the law. It is the law. And in fact, I know exactly. The one there at St. Augustine. I know which one. Or actually, there's one.
We went to the Daytona Beach one.
The one in Daytona. There's there, and of course, we're talking about our friends and should be show sponsors, Buc-ee's. We'd have to reach out to them. We've been talking about it for a year. So yeah, there's actually, if you're on that stretch of I-95, there's one in St. Augustine at World Golf Village.
They're like within 60 miles of each other, like probably 45.
I know, pretty close. And they're both packed wall to wall all the time. Go figure.
It's like getting in and out was like, like you were going to a concert or something just before, like half hour before showtime, and everybody's in line to pull into the parking lot.
So anyway, you went to Buc-ee's.
And that's where the wife tried to kill me.
Any reason in particular, or just for the fun of it?
We got our Buc-ee sandwiches, like always.
Of course.
We were always excited. And so we ate in the car because we had the little doggy with us.
Right.
And all of a sudden I look over there and I thought we'd had the discussion, no more nuggets.
Oh.
My wife's over there eating her sandwich. And then I'm seeing she's going into a bag. And I go, she just got chips. So I reach my hand in the bag to get a chip. Oh my God. It's a nugget. And like an idiot, I ate it. And just like a Lay's potato chip,
you can't
you're
have
not
just
going
one.
to eat just one.
Oh, not a chance.
It's like taking, a hit of crack cocaine. And
It's like just one more. Come on, man, just one more.
There's got to be.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that your wife was trying to hide them from you?
I think maybe. Well, it was over on her lap with her sandwich.
Right, but in an unmarked brown paper bag?
Oh no, it was. I mean, it looked like from where I was sitting and I was eating my sandwich, and trying not to get, barbecue sauce all over my shirt in the car.
Or all over your nice car, yes.
Yeah, so I look over and I go, "Oh, she's got a bag of chips." Dumb, I'm not the smartest cookie in the, in the jar. So I reach over and I go, "I think I'll have one of her chips." And that's when I go, "Oh, she's trying to kill me. These are nuggets. I can just have one." I ate the one. I didn't eat just one. I ate probably.
Of course not.
I don't know. I'm not going to estimate how many. I didn't eat as many as I could have for sure, but I ate more than one.
They are, like you said, they are, and I have, full disclosure, I have zero experience with crack cocaine. I'm just putting that out there right now. Zero experience. However.
So do I. I have zero.
Good to know. Good to know. But still, if there is such a thing, it's like you just put one in your mouth and you go, ooh. Yeah, it's like what do they say? What is that word? Oh, it's tongue-gasmic. It's tongue-gasmic is what it is. It just lights you up. Yeah, it does. So anyway, you didn't have too many, but you had some.
I had more than I should have probably, but yeah,
right.
they were excellent.
Of course they are. Of course.
But I'm thinking though, like we talked about this last week. We lived in Fort Myers, both of us, and the first year we were there, the beach was really exciting.
Right.
I'm thinking if I lived in Daytona Beach, I'd probably go to Buc-ee's once a week for a sandwich, but maybe like the beach after a while it would get boring. but I can't see it ever getting boring. Although I must congratulate my wife.
Oh,
She only spent like $44 there.
only.
Usually
Is
like
that,
40.
wait, does that counting food or not counting food?
That I can't answer you because I
Okay.
don't know.
Because,
Let's just say this. I only saw one of the bills.
okay. All right. Okay.
Unless you went,
Because,
you know,
see, if I'm going to, like I mean, like all of us, no, I shouldn't say all of us, but, if you stop at Buc-ee's, there's going to be gas, of course, but I mean, you're paying that at the pump. So it's not like you're going inside and laying out more money. So there's a gas stop. Okay, fine. Their gas is, it's not the cheapest on the road, but it's pretty good. And
yeah,
then you go inside, and then you got to have lunch. So a sandwich and a drink is what, $10 maybe. So for two of you, 25 bucks, including the bag of Buc-ee's nuggets. So I mean, if it was only $44 total, that's pretty good.
yeah, because usually it's a lot more. Now, but my wife and I hope she doesn't listen to this one. But we always talk about
You always say that.
we always talk about she has too much stuff.
Mm.
But she's got a Buc-ee's Christmas shirt. She's got a Buc-ee's Thanksgiving shirt. She's got, I don't know, if I grew a Buc-ee's, you know what, I'd get it a lot more. Oh
Stop!
no, I
Stop!
killed Bill. I killed Bill. Oh God, I killed Bill.
I'm just trying to imagine. Well, no, I'm not trying to imagine because that particular vision will never leave me. So, okay, fine. Okay, fine. Yes, you could have certain parts of you wrapped in certain Buc-ee's paraphernalia, and maybe it would help stimulate the marital relationship. I
Yeah, I
don't
think
know.
it would.
That's my best way to try and say it there. So, all
Yeah,
right. Good
like I
for you.
said, I love the
I think you should
food.
try. I think you
I
should
love
try.
I love the food. She did talk me into, like, this was over a year ago, to get some Bucky's swimsuit because
Oh, okay.
we were just leaving for vacation. We knew we were going to be
Right.
around water and
Bucky
pools and
swimsuit.
so I got a Bucky. It's Bucky's right there on my swimsuit, little Bucky, and about 20,000 different. It's a little Bucky, so he's like all over.
Sure, sure. I think I've seen them. I think I have seen them in the store, and they're cool. Sure,
I
sure.
go, hey Bucky, you stay away from the Nuggets. Oh my God, I got to clean up my act.
He did it again. He did it again. Oh no. Okay.
I need
All
to.
right.
Okay, no more. I need to stay away from that area of the
I
body.
think so. I think. Well, you combine Bucky's with other. Never mind. It's funny. It's just I guess we haven't talked about Bucky's in a long time, so when we do, we have some fun with it. So there you
And
go.
we get a little excited. What can I say?
Yes. And again, I can't imagine why they are not sponsoring this program or at least sending us a couple of t-shirts or something like that. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't
'Cause
reached out to them. That's why.
every time I drive by one, now the wife will buy your stuff. I will buy the food. I'll buy
Okay.
the jerky. I'll buy, I'll buy the barbecue sandwiches.
You bet.
All that I am there, and then I have a bathing suit. Okay, I admit it. But besides that, that's the only Bucky apparel that I own.
Don't you have a baseball hat?
No.
Thought I
Oh
saw
wait, I
one
got a
somewhere.
mug. Oh,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Oh,
See, if
I'm
you really
sorry.
start thinking about it,
Yeah,
you'll
now that I
really
think
start
about it, I
thinking about
got two things. Yeah.
it. Okay.
I
Well,
got a,
good. I mean,
got a,
that's fine. And I don't actually own any merchandise. I probably should, but I don't at the moment. But that's just me. But if I pass one, I am stopping. I mean, whether the car needs gas or not, I am stopping in and at least for lunch. So yeah, absolutely.
well,
So
we were
okay.
supposed to have dinner with the family, when we went Friday, and we were like passing by about 3 o'clock, maybe 2:30, 3 o'clock. And so I was thinking we'd just drive by. And the wife goes, we're stopping at Bucky's, aren't we? I go, well, I wasn't thinking about it, but I guess if you want. And she goes, yeah, I want.
So we're learning some important marketing stuff here because you and your wife both, again, more her than you, Disney people. I mean, look at the guy's wearing a baseball hat with mouse ears on it, right? I mean, not the big mouse ears like the little kids have, the stick out ones, but on the front of the hat, where the logo is, it says Grandpa with the mouse ears on it. So so between Disney and Buc-ee's, apparently you guys with small furry rodents are just crushing it.
I'm learning something. I think my wife likes furry, and she got a little freaking dog too.
She's got a thing for small furry critters.
Oh, and if I ever get married,
And you,
again,
and look at you with the full beard and the mustache.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you
I
are
guess-
furry as well.
my daughter likes furry things too.
I think we have just had a breakthrough here. If I was your counselor, if I was your shrink, I would be saying, I think we've just had a breakthrough here, Mr. Odom.
She
Boy.
likes her furry animals.
So anyway, I'm glad you stopped and at least you had a good lunch and some of those indescribably wonderful Buc-ee's nuggets. So I want to see that factory. There must be a factory the size of like, a small city somewhere that just does nothing but crank out bags and bags and bags of Buc-ee's nuggets. Because they got to go through them. I mean, how many stores times how many bags 24/7? They have got to be making those things by the boxcar full constantly to keep a hungry nation fed.
And more and more Buc-ee's
Exactly.
pop up as you've got one not far from you opening, probably in the next year in Ocala.
Yep, down near Ocala. So yeah. I need to, this is a side note. Twice over the week, because here in Gainesville, we have our TV stations and radio stations are like licensed, like Fort Myers, Cape Coral, like we used to be Fort Myers, Naples, whatever. They're licensed Gainesville, Ocala. And twice this week, I have heard on-air people, either commercials or newscasters, say Ocala. And I'm like, Ocala. And are they just not doing it right? Or have I been doing it wrong all these years?
I've said Ocala my entire life.
I've said Ocala my entire life. And
like you, I lived there for, about a year.
Right.
And I called it Ocala.
And I'm just wondering, okay, did we farm out this commercial to some voice talent in, LA somewhere, and he looked at it and read it as Ocala, and nobody got back to him and said, no, it's Ocala? I don't know. That's Bill. Anybody who knows Bill knows that stuff gets under his skin and like a mosquito bite on steroids just eats at him because I'm a word guy. That's my job. It was my job to the way words are used and pronounced and all of that for reasons that I never have figured out is crazy important to me.
Well, what you need to do is find the country bar.
Country bar.
Go in there if you're brave enough, because I know you're not a country boy like me.
Well, no, but I could go into a country bar. Yeah.
Yeah, go into a country bar, walk up to like the biggest, country boy you can find with the belt buckle and the cowboy hat and everything else.
Sure.
And just go up and say, I gotta know. I'm hearing it pronounced two different ways. How do you pronounce it? Okay. And he will look at you and say, Billy Bob's. Billy Bob's is how you pronounce it.
Right. And I think, yes, I could. So I have to find a country bar in Ocala somewhere and try that, huh?
Yeah.
So,
and
yeah, the problem is, I think, I'm not sure, but I think they're having a little bit of like gentrification, like a lot of money coming in to Ocala. Because, I mean, it's other than Kentucky, other than like the horse farms in, around Kentucky, Ocala is horse country. And I don't mean that in a small way. I mean, they have this World Equestrian Center.
Oh, yeah.
Which is mind blowing. It's like the Disneyland for horses and horse people. And it's unbelievable. I mean, the money there is impressive for that sort of thing. I don't know if they're having a tough time with the economy like everybody else? Probably not. When you have enough money for horses, you're probably okay.
Well, it's
But
like the
anyway,
world. It's like the rest of the United States. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, you
if you
don't.
got it, you got it. Exactly. Well put. I mean, simple but well put. If you got it, you got it. I don't know.
Now, let me, this is funny that you say this.
Mm.
So my brother and sister-in-law, who is also, they live in Fort Myers,
Mm-hmm.
as we all did. They have been taking their little motorhome. They've been to Georgia, they've been to Tennessee,
Mm.
they've even been out west. They took it
Mm-hmm.
like to Wyoming,
Right.
Kansas, because they've been kind of thinking South Florida is no longer, they want something different.
I hear that.
And they want something maybe more, more where it gets cool, like even here. They're actually looking around here too.
Not
But
much of a change from Fort Myers, but okay. I hear you.
but they were in Jacksonville
Right.
and they were looking around a little bit. And now they are from there before they go back to Fort Myers to their house in Fort Myers. They were going to go to Ocala,
Cool.
and they were going to check it out to see what all was available there and what all they thought of the area and the things,
Yeah.
up there.
So they don't need. So if you're a beach person, and you and I know we lived in Fort Myers, we know all about beach people. If you're a beach person and you need to be near a beach, where you live and where I live, they're not for you. Gainesville is you can, I haven't looked at a map, but it's probably the same for you. You can have either beach. It's just an hour and a half in either direction.
Right.
Go east, go west, hour and a half, you're at the beach. Great. But right, I'm in the, they don't call it NCFL, North Central Florida, for nothing where I'm at. So honestly, I'm kind of over the beach, I think. I'm not 100% sure. And I'm starting to look around and think to myself, all right, because I get every couple 3 years, and I've talked about this on the show. Every couple 3 years, I'm like, okay, I've been here long enough. Where to next? And I could do something a little more woodsy and mountainy and like that. So yeah, I've been looking at all sorts of things and I've mentioned this on the show before, everything from Chattanooga, Tennessee, south through the not through Georgia, not Atlanta, obviously big city, but some of the small towns north of Atlanta and even south, or again, some of the small towns near Jacksonville, but that's kind of beachy. So I don't know. But I'm open. I'm open to anything and everything at this point. So
That's kind of
who
like
knows?
my brother-in-law and his wife.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
kind of
It's
open
like,
right
all
now.
right, where to next? So
Now they're looking there for their where to next location.
cool. How long have they been in Fort Myers forever or?
Well, they were on the other coast. They were in West Palm Beach when, here's what it was. The grandparents got a condo down here,
Right.
and that was 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Susan moved down here. Her
Right.
twin brother, of course, her sister stayed in Long Island the longest. Now
Right.
she's down here. They're in Jacksonville, but with all of her family. But her brother was in California when Susan first moved here.
Mm-hmm.
And then he came here and then he got into like um, imaging and things like that in the medical field.
Oh, okay.
He actually does, heart imaging now, or that's what he
Oh,
did
okay.
before he retired. And then he went to Weston, Florida,
Got
and
it.
was over there for a while and in the West Palm Beach area. And then he came back over to Fort Myers, probably, he's been married probably a good, well, actually, they were married when he was over in Weston too. So I'd say they've been in Fort Myers now for 20 years.
Oh, okay. Oh, so a while. All right, that's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah. Been through the storms.
Oh yeah,
Knows they don't want to do that anymore. Yeah.
No, well, it's not that. I don't think it's the storms as much. They just want something. They want to retire and they want something different.
Cool. Most people retire to Fort Myers. They want to leave Fort Myers now that they are retiring.
I think
And
what it
that's
is,
okay.
I think when people have lived in Fort Myers for like you and I, 40, 30, 40 years, they're thinking, okay, retirement.
Right.
Let's go somewhere where it's not so retiree. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe we're weird. I don't know.
No, I mean, and I you know me. I mean, once I get an idea, I'll be like, I'll spend the next 2 hours on YouTube looking at videos about various places. So I did that. Best small towns to retire, best medium-sized cities to retire in, and whatever. And I mean, a couple of these videos are throwing out some places like I would have never thought. I mean, but you look at them and you go, oh, that looks nice. Now it's in, I don't know, it's, Overland Park, Kansas. It's in Lincoln, Nebraska. It's like, no, I'm not going to Lincoln, Nebraska to retire. Thank you. It looks nice. I'm not going there to retire. I get it. But it opens your eyes to what's out there, I guess is what I'm saying. So yeah, I'm looking at, all kinds. I like being near a big city if I need it, but not in a big city, because who wants that traffic? So if it was a burb of Tampa Bay somewhere up north, I don't know.
That's what I think I would
Wesley
really
Chapel
like.
or something like that. What's that?
I think if the daughter didn't live here, and I don't think she'll ever leave, because
Right.
her and her boyfriend both are like they're park people.
They're park
I'm not
people,
talking about national parks. I'm talking about
right.
SeaWorld, Disney
World.
World.
Well, they work there, so yeah.
But she's when she's not working, she's at the park, and when she's not at a park, she's not happy, I guess. I don't know.
I guess that's okay. That's all right. No problem.
But every weekend, and they have we have the cheap people's pass.
Right.
Of course, he works at SeaWorld, so he gets everything in there free. I mean, he gets a walk in there.
Right.
But as far as their Disney passes, they can go pretty much all year. I think they're blocked out maybe 6 weeks out of the entire year.
Right. So they have
That's
everything.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get it. I do. But yeah.
And they're there every weekend,
Right.
every weekend.
Right. I think I could, like you said, I think I could trade in the Florida thing for something that had a little cooler, not a lot. I mean, it was chilly here last week and I was freezing my buns off, but that's just me because I'm used to the Florida stuff. But if it was somewhere that hell, I'm from Cleveland. You can't scare me with cold weather. I mean, it's like, I get it. I just don't really want to put up with it for months at a time.
Now, my original thought was when I retired was to possibly go to the mountains. As far as I like, Tennessee, the Tennessee mountain. I want to be Dolly's neighbor.
Okay.
So, I would move Gatlinburg,
Sure.
Sevierville, somewhere in there,
Right.
And then, like you said, well, actually, since I lived here, and I've lived here now in Central Florida for almost 4 years, and I've come to the point now where, okay, I don't want to go any further north.
And you have to
I've
be
been
a lot
cold
of those
enough
places.
here.
Yeah, I'm not going to say you have to be careful, but you have to be aware that if you're thinking about it and I'm thinking about it, then a lot of other people are thinking about it. Our old friend Vicki Wagner, who moved to Blue Ridge, Georgia, and she used to tell me, if I'm driving into town and I saw one more car or two more cars, that was a busy day. And now she'll drive into town and she'll be on the phone with me bitching about the traffic and all of these. And it's like, okay, I get it, because I was in Sarasota for 7 or 8 years. And, I've used this term before, and these small towns are being loved to death. There's just thousands and thousands of people coming in, building houses, building condos, building shopping, building strip malls. And it's like, okay, what used to be a nice little quaint small town, not anymore. And,
Well, let's go back to your days of moving to Fort Myers for the very first time.
right.
Working at, 96, well, that was 96 Super Q back then.
It was Super Q back then. You bet.
No, wasn't 96 K Rock, it was Super Q.
Nope. Super Q.
But you
One
could,
great song after another.
and basically, now, were you there when there was a trailer there and a tower?
When I was there, the trailer was there, but they had just built the new building.
Okay.
So we weren't using the trailer, and then the trailer eventually got towed off.
Now, you've got to be Southwest Florida residents to get what I'm about ready to say.
Right.
But if you lived in Fort Myers and you went to Naples, besides going, through a little area where there was a little biker bar kind of like and a gas station and a couple other things, you would see this. But besides that, your drive all the way from Fort Myers to Naples was nothing but swampland and trees, and you were like on a lonely road, except for that one little patch of a gas station, a bar, and maybe a store or two. But there was nothing.
Nothing.
Now you drive from Fort Myers to Naples, Florida, and
It's
you go
solid.
down Highway 41, you will see nothing but businesses or homes.
Right. No, and you're talking about but there was one crossroads with
Oh,
one
Bonita.
traffic light in Bonita Springs.
Right. Okay.
That was it.
Yeah, I gave
And
that
then-
one. I forgot about that one. There were some businesses there also.
Right, right. But when you left Fort Myers, you got south of Daniels Road in Fort Myers, nothing until Bonita. And then you had the light in Bonita Springs, and then nothing until you got to Naples.
To the Witch's
And-
Brew.
Yeah, to Witch's Brew. I got some Witch's Brew stories. Boy, we're setting the Wayback Machine here. That's awesome.
I think everybody's got some Witch's Brew.
Everybody's got Witch's Brew.
I didn't think Bill Stevens had Witch's Brew stories, but I know I
Maybe we should do some of those when we get back, because we're already past our halfway break here. So go refill your coffee, everybody. But this has been fun. This has been fun. And there's more fun to come. Go refill your coffee or do whatever you need to do, and we will be right back. Welcome back. I'm Bill Stevens. That's BJ Odom, and this is BJ and Bill, the podcast. And if you are enjoying it as much as we are enjoying bringing it to you, we'd invite you to leave a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts, whether that's Apple Podcasts or Spotify or iHeartRadio or YouTube Music. We are everywhere. So we're like mold in Florida after the rainy season. We are everywhere. So, and you can join us on our Facebook page. Just do a search for BJ and Bill Podcast, or you can email us bjandbillpodcast@gmail.com. So there you go. So, yeah, we were talking about all these old places that we used to visit in Fort Myers, and all just amazing, fun, cool places. Sometimes I enjoy that. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, I don't even remember any of that, but now I kind of do. So it's okay.
I don't
good.
really remember a lot of the bars I was in that area, but that's
No.
for a whole different reason.
Yeah, I get you. And like we were saying on the break there, BJ you were more of a Naples guy when you got into Southwest Florida, and I was right there. I was at Super Q, which I literally, I'm sure it was done a million times after that, but I was one of the guys who, like, after the shift was done, me and the program director, Rick Dreves, shout out to you wherever you are, Rick Dreves. Boy, that name just popped into my head. Would take like chainsaws and go out into the front, into the area because the building was set back about 200 yards.
Oh yeah, it was
US
back there,
41.
like in his own little woods.
Yeah, and we would chainsaw and cut up, the area around it to clear more space for parking and all sorts of things. So yeah, I was a morning show radio news guy and woodsman. So it was pretty fun. So yeah.
I started down in Naples on Radio Road, which is now all built up too.
Right.
But the radio station was in a little trailer that had holes in it and everything else. I mean, I could sit there and be on the air, and every once in a while I'll see a critter pop its head up like, hey, what's going on? Can I get a request in? And those were the days too when radio stations were owned. Like, you might have an AM and FM,
Yes.
but you never had like 3 or 4 FMs.
Oh
and
no.
2 or 3
Yeah.
AMs. It didn't exist back then.
Well,
And so,
yeah, Super Q was one owner, one station.
yeah. Like WSGL, where I was at a totally different frequency. We were at 97.7, called FM 98. We played country music back then. That was my first radio gig in Florida.
Nice. Yeah, when I was like still wet behind the ears out of college, one of my college roommates offered me like a summer gig where he was working in Owensboro, Kentucky. Look it up. It's on the Ohio River, just down from Cincinnati. And tiny little town had 4 radio stations, 2 AM, 2 FM. The cable TV company owned one set of AM and FM, and the newspaper owned the other AM and FM. And and both FMs were fully automated, and I mean giant rooms full of reel-to-reel tapes, playing with some clunky automation system. And then the AMs were, where we had all the fun. So
because back in the day, I mean, now I'm going to talk to all the old geezers that listen to this show.
That would be us. Yes.
When we were teenagers and in our young 20s, AM still ruled when it came to radio. No one listened to FM.
Oh, nobody. No. It wasn't until, well, I mean, college days, FM started to become a thing because, of course, I was from Cleveland, and anybody from Cleveland knows WMMS radio, which was the radio station, which is funny because you and I ended up working for a sales manager who had worked there when we were in Bonita, when we were at whatchamacallit in Bonita Springs there with Pete. So yeah, that was when whatchamacallit, when FM was a thing. But other than that, you're right. I mean, I remember laying in bed at night listening to the baseball on AM radio and listening to stations out of Detroit or Chicago or whatever, and it was awesome. It was awesome. Yeah.
Like, I remember too, like one of the first music stations, really, I think that well, first of all, rock and roll, and they used to call it album-oriented rock.
AOR, album-oriented rock.
That made the first move to the FM dial.
Yep.
And then slowly but surely, country radio followed, and also top 40 radio followed.
Sure.
But in the beginning, if you were listening to an FM radio station back in the late 70s, early 80s, you were listening to what they called elevator music.
Elevator music. Yes, you were.
All instrumentals, all real soft. It was the things you heard when you were in a store walking around and shopping, and in the background you'd hear WCVU.
Or in your dentist's chair.
Yeah.
Or doctor's waiting room.
We're all easy all the time.
Yes. Boy, that didn't last long, thank God. But that was impressive. That really was amazing, wasn't it? How things have changed.
Because if you live in Fort Myers, Wink FM, back in at least the day I was, in the days I was there, it was the big FM.
Right.
100,000 watts. But Wink FM, like maybe a year before I went to work for them, maybe 2 years, they were playing elevator music on their FM. And then all of a sudden, hey, let's try this 97 rock. A little bit of top 40, a little bit of adult contemporary. We'll mix it together. And, but
the rest is history, as they say.
Yeah, because that was playing. I think the first rock station, which was AOR, was Orange 107, which is now.
Don't mention his name.
I'm going to. Our buddy Ted Fitzgeorge.
Oh,
we love you, Ted Fitzgeorge.
Oh God, he'll be calling again.
Here, let me do my best, Ted Fitzgeorge, because he, back in those days, everybody had like a tagline they would use.
Sure.
And he was, baby. That was his thing.
Yep.
If I don't even, did he use Ted Fitzgeorge even back in the day?
No, but I couldn't tell you what. Don't think so, but then again, I'm not 100% sure. So please don't ask, because he'll be calling you. He'll be calling us.
I worked at Wink back in the day, and I didn't know Ted Fitzgeorge from a fart, and but I would go around here once in a while going, baby. It grew on you, and that was his thing. People look at me like, what are you talking about? Baby.
One of those little earworms. Yeah. One of those things that gets stuck in your head and you can't get it out.
Yeah. He was
We love you,
ingenious.
Ted. We love you.
No, we're not. I don't like it. He was ingenious. Why didn't I come up with that?
Exactly. Hello. Yeah.
Mine was
You know,
BJ the DJ, Bebop Alula. Whoa, big deal. But I never really used that in Fort Myers. But when I was first in radio, that was mine.
oh
Listen to this.
man.
This is how long I've been in radio. This is for people even older than us. I've been
Oh
in
boy.
radio so long. I was BJ the DJ, Bebop Alula. And the first song I played every day when I came on was It's Howdy Doody Time.
Oh my God. Oh man. That is, I don't think the Wayback Machine goes that far back.
And I will really give all the old country fans because my sign off was BJ the DJ
Unreal.
by
Unreal.
Stonewall Jackson. Look it up, people. The only thing I hated about that song, though, but it kind of became my catch song, is that he died going to the radio station one morning because he went around a curve too fast because he was late to be on the radio. And then it was like, I think the final words were, BJ the DJ, we'll hear him no more.
There's some BJ Odom history that we hadn't heard before on this program. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's some
For you.
ancient stuff. That was like back in 1973, 74, somewhere in there. That's before that's before half the world was even born.
That was 50 years ago. No kidding. No kidding. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, you know what? We have gotten this far into the show and we have not talked any football. What's up with that?
I almost got to the point where I wasn't going to talk any football ever again, especially they started. I mean, we're going to talk about the Bucs.
We're going to talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, both BJ's and Bill's favorite team. Yes.
They started out like always, so strong.
Yes.
First possession, all the way down. Boom.
Walked it
touchdown.
down. Walked it down. Like walking the dog in the park. Walked it down the book.
Again, I'm going, oh, they're looking so good. They're looking so good. Their second possession. Of course, the other team, they got all the way down too. So
Yeah.
So they can score
LA
a
Chargers.
touchdown.
Yep.
And then we go all the way down. We don't get all the way, but we got a field goal.
Right.
We're on fire. The other team, Chargers, go charging down the field. They get a field goal.
Yep.
Damn. Then we're up again.
Yep.
And what does Baker do? Throws it away, gives them another 7 points.
Interception.
They get the ball back. So, okay, we're only down a touchdown. That's not
Right.
bad.
That's not bad.
What do? They cough it up.
Yep.
Again. This team doesn't score a touchdown, but they do get a field goal.
Right.
I go, I am done. If they score one more, I'm going to the Hallmark Channel and I'm watching.
I was gonna say, at this point, folks, BJ Odom is texting me as I'm sitting on my couch, and the text exactly says that. I'm just about ready for the Hallmark Channel. And you know that means he is throwing in the towel. He is it's over for him. And I was worried. I was really worried. And then apparently you chose to stay, which was a good thing.
Yeah, I'm glad I stayed because, boy, they
I am
lost
too.
them.
And in
After
fact,
those
I
17
texted you
points-
back about 5 minutes later after another Tampa Bay score, and I said, I hope you stayed with the game. He said, yes, I did. I'm like, good for you.
Maybe that's the way I need to get. Because,
Finicky?
the week before, I was cursing and shouting and screaming and saying things that no man should say who believes in the Lord above. And I said, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I get up, I'm PO'd. I'm going to get rid of what little beer I had left in me. And I went to the bathroom,
Right.
and I didn't even get the thing out. And the wife hollers, the Bucs got the ball. I'm going, what the hell? I flew in. I don't even know if I was all the way zipped up or not. And I flew back in, and they had the ball, and they scored, and they won.
So, yes. So, actually, Tampa Bay ended up in a quite convincing blowout win. 40-17 was your final yesterday from Los Angeles. And then, well, the good news is,
And the Chargers got 17 in the first quarter. The
What's
Chargers
that?
got that 17 in the first quarter.
Yes, and didn't score again. Pretty good for Tampa Bay defense, which is pretty good normally, and then they played even better yesterday. So now, here's the story. So now we're heading into the last 3 weeks of the season, and Tampa Bay faces, in this order, the Dallas Cowboys, the Carolina Panthers, and the New Orleans Saints. Wah, wah, wah.
I don't know.
So
I could see the Cowboys just because they are like they're kryptonite to the Bucs.
interesting. Interesting. Well, yesterday
Even
Dallas
the year
beat
Tom Brady,
Carolina.
even
What's
the year
that?
Tom Brady, even the year Tom Brady was like the hottest quarterback in the league.
Right.
I think they lost to the Cowboys that year. The year they won the
Hmm.
Super Bowl, I think they lost to the Cowboys earlier in the season.
Okay. All right. Well, tonight Vegas plays Atlanta tonight.
That's going to be although I think Atlanta's got a good shot at this one.
So, but we're rooting for Vegas tonight.
Oh
Right?
yeah, big time.
Oh yeah, we're totally rooting for Vegas tonight because they're out of it. They are so far. They can't even see the playoffs in their rearview mirror. Vegas is 2-11 on the year. We are so rooting for Vegas tonight to beat Atlanta, and then, like I said yesterday, Dallas beat Carolina. Who cares? I mean, in the Nobody Cares Bowl. So we got Dallas, Carolina, and then Vegas in that order to finish the season. And things look pretty good. Yeah.
Well, I
pretty
would
good.
say I doubt that it happens, but if Atlanta could lose tonight, then I think we'll skate in.
Okay.
But if they
Okay.
win, I still think I know the Bucks way too good. There's still a game they could lose, and if
Oh,
it
yes.
becomes if the division is tied, then they
Oh,
lose to
yes.
the tie.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's never nothing is set in stone with the Bucks. Never, ever set in stone with the Bucks. So I get it. So anyway, we're getting a little in the weeds here, but that's okay. So tonight, as we record this, now, when you are listening to this podcast, you will already know if BJ and Bill had a good Monday night, because Monday Night Football will have come and gone. So hopefully you are smiling. By you, I mean our audience, along with us. And there you go. So I have pickleball tonight, Monday night, as we record this, but I'll be home easily I'll be home before halftime. So there you go. Good.
I'll be home.
I'll be
Christmas.
home for Christmas. Yeah,
Speaking of Christmas,
if I had a home, I'd be home for Christmas.
speaking of home.
Uh-oh, look at he's holding up. Wait a minute. He's holding up. They look like microwave popcorn baggies, but wait a minute. Oh, they say Amazon on the other side. So gift cards?
Amazon gift cards.
Amazon gift cards.
I got my
Very
Christmas
nice.
shopping done.
Interesting that they come in those little plastic baggies like that.
Yeah, I know. I guess that's what
they look like.
ship
Again,
them.
they look like microwave popcorn baggies. So
I
anyway.
think what it is, like they're individually wrapped.
Yes.
And then, you sign them. Yeah. Who to or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't.
Should I be expecting one in my mailbox?
Not really. No.
Not really.
I'm getting you the same thing you got me last year.
Pretty sure that was wait, think about it. Nothing. Yeah.
We should take the BJ and Bill, the entire staff, and do a gift exchange. Like like a secret Santa, so nobody knows who's get. Oh, wait a minute. We're the only two that work for this company.
I was gonna say, do we have to include our buddy Jay on that?
Oh, maybe though. Yeah, he does a lot of work. Yeah,
He'd be the odd man out. Yeah. Yeah. That's a great idea. BJ and Bill staff Christmas party. I think we're having it right now. I don't know. It's going to be at the Buc-ee's in Daytona Beach. Join us there, folks.
Maybe we can trade out. All right, Buc-ee's, give us some free food. We'll be there. We're going to have our party there. We're going to bring the entire staff.
Is a callback. There you go. The entire staff will be there. Absolutely. That's great. That's great. So, yeah, I mean, anyway, hang in there, Buccaneers. You can do this. You can make this happen. I don't know, Playoff time, who the heck knows? At least they'll be in the playoffs, and that's a good thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we're good.
You know,
We're good.
I wouldn't expect them to go far, but it'd be nice
No.
to say, oh, they were in the
Yeah.
playoffs again.
They're in the playoffs. That's all that matters. I mean, that one year, was that last year or 2 years ago? The Cleveland Browns played one playoff game. That was like the second coming in Cleveland. That was like the biggest thing ever. So it was, okay, cool, good for you. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So we'll see. Great.
What else is going
Speaking
on?
of which, are you Christmas plans? Are you going anywhere, doing anything?
Last weekend we went to Jacksonville. It really wasn't Christmassy or anything, but we
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
had it because it was all of Susan's. It was her brother, her sister,
Right.
and well, it was my kids weren't there, and her brothers because they just have one, so but the sister's kids and grandkids and all. So it was like there was a lot, but our side, like I said,
Right.
the twins didn't bring their kids
Okay.
because my wife's brother is a twin, and then they have an older sister.
Nobody is following this, but okay, sure.
Now, let me tell you something that's kind of funny, though, in a way.
Okay.
And again, my wife's not home, so I can talk about this. So her sister and her now are both older.
Right.
So, they all kind of have the grayish, blondish, whatever kind of color hair you want to talk about.
Right.
So, and their hair length is about the same. And in the face, they look somewhat the same.
Okay. Of course.
Somewhat the same stature.
Sisters, sure.
And so we walk into her nephew's house with two little bubbly kids that run around and bounce off the walls 24/7. At least as long as we were there, they were. Well, the girl was pretty calm, but the boy, woohoo. But nonetheless, we walk in, they run up to her and go, Nana, Nana. And then they look up and they go, oh my God, did Nana change? That's not Nana. And you could just see in their eyes, they were freaking out. Something had happened to Nana. Nana was no longer Nana. Nana got something different. But what is it?
She's changed. Nana, you've changed. That's awesome. Well, so anyway, it's all good.
That's Nana Sue.
Right.
Then they even got more confused because, they were only like 4 and 2. So they were like, what's the hell is a Nana Sue?
That's funny. I mean, some brothers and sisters look a lot alike. I don't think I look much like my brother. I don't think you look much like your brother. So
yeah, neither do I. Now I will tell you this, and I don't know if you knew him or not, my dad, but people keep telling me the older I get, the more I look like him.
Probably me too. I mean, probably me too. Thankfully don't have my dad's gray hair yet. Of course, he lived to be mid 80s or something like that. So I got some time yet, but yeah, I'm probably getting there. I mean, we probably all do eventually, right? Daughters get to look like moms and sons look like, I don't know that. It's a DNA thing.
I remember back, in the days of dating and, getting to know girls. I remember people would tell you that, make sure you check out the mom because the daughter eventually is going to look just like the mom.
Yes.
So I went out with a couple girls and went, oh crap. No, I better not date them no more. Then I went out with a couple girls, that had MILFs for moms. And I go, yeah, damn. I think I'll try to keep
That'll
this
be
one
good.
around.
That'd be good.
But they never wanted to keep me around.
Investment in your future.
All the hot moms had hot daughters, and hot daughters weren't really that into me.
Yeah, imagine that. How's that? What's that like? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I do.
I got a face for radio, people.
My mother always used to ask me, why aren't you in television? And I would say, Mom, 2 reasons, hair and teeth. I don't have perfect white teeth, and I don't have, fancy coiffable hair. I don't have hair that can be styled into something that looks like a TV. So no, thank you. I'm face for radio. Perfect. Yeah. Face for radio. And I never regretted that decision. So that's all.
I don't have a 6-pack. I have a keg.
I'm in shape. Round is a shape.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. So anyway, you went to Jack's for last weekend, and are you going down to Fort Myers for Christmas? And then we'll wrap it up.
No, because, well, that's to be determined because we're leaving Friday to go to Fort Myers,
Okay.
but we could be coming back Monday because of the jury duty. She calls Friday night once we get there,
I forgot.
and they tell her that, well, you have to appear, then we will come back. But it's still in her mind, and maybe she can, if it's so strong in her mind, what do they call that
Sure.
when we think something and you make it happen?
Sure.
Because she's saying it's the week of Christmas. They're either going to settle or they're
I
not.
can't imagine that they would want to. I can't imagine that they would want to start any new trials on the Monday of Christmas week. It makes no sense.
That's
Why
what
would
I
you do
thought.
that? Because you're going to be off for most of the week. So yeah, okay. I forgot about the jury duty thing. So yeah, in case you missed it, BJ's wife got jury duty, and her report date is on the Monday,
23rd. Yeah, the
23rd, which is crazy. So I agree with her. I don't think it's going to happen, but you will report back to us next week, and we will all know the answer.
Yeah.
There you go.
And
There you
so one of two things. I'll either be doing the show from my plush studios here in
Right.
Claremont, Florida,
Plush.
or the plush studios known as the Shaq Fu Studios.
That's right.
Which puts
At the
most
home,
studios.
the corporate, the mothership of Podcast Playground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's good. That's good. Okay, cool.
So I'll have to
All right,
let you
good.
know.
Good. Well, we'll keep a good thought that there's no jury duty for your wife there, because that's just crazy. That's stupid. So anyway, I'm sure I agree with you. Put it out there. Put it in your head. Nothing's going to happen. They're just going to say, nope, you're good. Take the day off, whatever. And
Now,
you're all set.
I will mention this before we go.
Yes.
If it gets too crazy, my son, because I know he does a couple podcasts,
Yes.
and the Podcast Playground, which is we're affiliated with, we're on their network.
Yes.
I know they are taking, like Nashville takes off, they're taking 2 weeks off.
We could do that. I mean, we could. You
We've
and I will
already
talk
done
about
this
that.
week, so we don't need
Right.
to
We've
worry.
already done this week. So this one will appear on Wednesday, the 18th. And then, because then a week after that would be literally Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And we don't need a podcast coming out on Christmas. Maybe we'll just do like we used to do at the radio station. Maybe we'll just put an hour of Christmas music on tape and just play that.
Yeah. And then we'll say, and then every once in a while we'll have recorded lines going, "Hi, this is BJ. From my
Right.
family to yours family.
Yeah.
I wish you a very Merry Christmas and a happiest of holidays."
I think that's a great idea. I think we'd probably get in trouble with the music licensing, but I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, they'd rip it right down going, "You can't do this. You're playing
Yeah.
music."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we could find some
We could hum
some
it.
Christmas music is
We
generic.
wish
Yeah, we'll just hum. Or we
Hum.
could just get a video. Well, we don't do a video podcast. I was going to say we could just put up an hour-long video of a fireplace like Home Shopping Network does.
Oh yeah,
Crackling fireplace.
Christmas week we'll have our video up, man. I know we always do audio podcasts, but we'll be doing a video podcast on Christmas Day. Make sure you tune in. Then they tune in and go, "It's a freaking fireplace. What the hell is this crap?"
All right, so we got some ideas here. We're going to send them to the R&D department and see what we can get away with. That's great. That is great. All right.
Well, people,
all right.
if we don't have a podcast on Christmas Day, we'll just do it now. This is BJ. I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and the happiest of holidays.
Same here. This is Bill Stevens, and nothing. I mean, it's been a good year. It really has. I mean, it's been a crazy but good year, and I just hope the same for you and your family out there. So all the best
if
to
we
all
could-
you guys.
All I want for Christmas is to be able to do this again next Christmas.
There you go. One more, another year. Because yeah, I agree. As long as we're healthy and able to do it, that's a good thing. We'll just keep doing it. It's all good. So. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. If we don't see you next week, we don't know what we're going to do yet. We'll make a decision about that. But if we don't, happy holidays to you and your family and everybody else on planet Earth. We appreciate it. So, Until then, it's just up to BJ Odom to say,
Ho, 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 ho. See ya.